Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Scotland Info Zoom. I kind of made that word up, but I don't think I made it up. I think Info Zoom is a thing, right? Or,
I think it is. It's a good word nonetheless.
yeah, because it's kind of like, well, kind of like a webinar, only info. Anyway,
Yeah.
so as you can see, I have Scotland in the background because I am all in on manifesting this for me and for you in 2024. So my name is Heidi Totten, and I would love to introduce you to Suzy Gustafson, who is the founder, creator, and brilliance behind Unrivaled Travel Experiences. And we've worked together for at least a decade on
Yes,
different
it's been
projects.
a decade. Yeah, it's longer than that on all kinds of things. But this
Yeah,
this one's been the most fun, I think.
I
So
know. It's been
yeah.
super fun in plotting and planning this.
Yes.
I just want to start off with kind of casting the vision here of what this Scotland trip is all about, if that's okay with you, Suzy.
Yep. Yeah, please go ahead.
So I basically joined Unrivaled Travel Experiences for a couple of reasons. One is that I love to travel. Two is that I really love the vision of Unrivaled Travel Experiences. And three is that, as most of you know, I run a nonprofit, and Unrivaled Travel Experiences is all about giving back to nonprofits as part of your travel. So it's a really cool concept. And as we're developing this, you'll hear more about our cruise with a cause and our all-inclusives for an impact. I just made that up, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a good.
All-inclusives for an impact. But you'll hear more about this and how you can make an impact by just working with us and booking your trips through us. And it's kind of that simple. Doesn't mean you have to go and distribute backpacks in a developing country, although we can do that if you want to as well. Scotland. So my heritage is Scotland. My ancestor was a Macquarie, and Macquarie was like the father of Australia. So he migrated from Scotland to Australia, which, you have tons of family in Australia.
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
and the Macquarie clan, Macquarie, that's hard to say, Macquarie
Yeah.
clan in Scotland is a pretty small clan, but I've grown up hearing about it all the time. And so when I decided that I wanted to go, well, first of all, I want to visit every country that ends in the word land. I just think that's kind of a funny ambition, and starting with Scotland. But when I first started thinking, okay, where do I want to go next in the world? I watched all of these friends go to Scotland, and I thought, okay, that's where I want to go. So of course I reached out to Suzy and said, what do we do? What do we do for Scotland? And she said, well, let's enroll people in a trip and let's do this together. And so we identified the trip that we want to do, the dates we want to do, and we're going to show that trip to you. But we also want you to know that you don't have to go with us. This is an itinerary that you can do anytime those dates are available. So there's our organized trip, but this is also an itinerary that you can do. Cool. All right.
Yep.
So Suzy, why don't you explain a little bit about your vision for Unrivaled Travel Experiences and, like where you want to take this, where you see this going?
Well, first of all, of course, I've been in the industry for a very long time, and I've been very blessed, and we've had some great success over the years. And I've always wanted to develop out more of the this type of vacation, and some of it will be super high end and something kind of more mid range. But I'm also involved in several nonprofits myself. I sit on several boards, and that's where my heart lies. And I decided at this point in my life, I wanted to be able to give back, and my expertise is travel, obviously. And so, how could I do that? And that's how this kind of evolved into. I want to be able to do really unique trips. We'll have groups throughout the years, lots of custom trips too. This isn't just the groups, but we'll have several groups. Um, and then on anything that we book through Unrivaled Travel, a portion will go back to nonprofits. If you don't have one in mind, then we will be donating to the two that we're really giving back to right now is 100 Humanitarians, which is what Heidi's nonprofit, and then Sapria, which my heart is in both places. I love both of them, and they overlap in many places too. So they are partners in working on some projects themselves. And then we will probably have a trip or two where all the commission that I make, that's how I make my money. All the commission that I make will be going back to nonprofits, and we'll have a program for nonprofits. So if you're listening to this and you are part of a nonprofit, and would like to know more about how you could, because you're always constantly looking for ways to raise money, and this is just another arm that you could use. And we would love to chat with you about that. But if you're just listening to this, you'd like to go on the trip that we're going to present today, or if you'd like just to go to Scotland or want to learn more about Scotland for a future trip, all those trips, if you book them through Unrivaled Travel, a portion is going to go back to the nonprofits. And that's my way be able to give back and develop this up. And my goal, I have some pretty lofty goals, but in 5 years from now, or less, if possible, I would be like to be writing some fairly large checks to these nonprofits. And so that's where this all started, and I'm pretty excited about it. And Heidi has really helped me develop it out and do all this. I'm really grateful to her, and grateful for all the business I've had over the years. And this, again, my way to be able to give back for all the success I've had. So
Cool. Thank you. And this will just be fun too,
yeah,
like to know that when you go on your trip, that it's going to benefit somebody. We want to make this a fun and engaging experience. And
yes,
kind of the sky's the limit in what you want to create. Of course, we have set itineraries that we can recommend to you and that we can help you create. But there's also, this is Unrivaled Travel Experiences. So there's also helping you to identify those unique experiences that you can't get elsewhere, right?
yes.
So as an example, our next webinar will be on Kenya. We'll just see that. And of course, most people who know me know that I've been to Kenya 25 times. I know some unrivaled travel experiences that you can have in Kenya, including being immersed in the Maasai tribe and in a village at night with a fire and Maasai warriors receiving a Maasai name. Now that's not common.
No, and which, by the way, I've done some pretty cool things in my lifetime. And I have to admit that getting a Maasai name from an old Maasai chief is probably tops the list of some of the coolest things I've done. And I've done some pretty cool things, but that's definitely, in the top 2 or 3, if not the top experience. So that will be cool. We'll talk about that next month, but that is an amazing experience. One of the things that we want to help you create through Unrivaled Travel Experiences is not just cookie cutter trips, but even taking what you're wanting to do and adding, maybe just an extra tour, or maybe it's something that you didn't know about that we can make. So it'll make a memory for a lifetime. So that's what we're hoping to also.
Yeah. And these are things that, of course, you could Google and find them, right? I mean, that's not the point, is that it's out there. But if you want to travel and you don't want to do all of the planning, that's what we're here for, is to help you do that, right? Is to take that off your plate. And the advantage of travel agents, I just have to tell you, because I did the Expedia and stuff like that for a while, and then I realized, especially through COVID and all of the transitions with that in travel, that there is a huge advantage to working with a travel agent who has different phone numbers that they can call, to reach different people who can actually help if you are in a situation in another country, or travel shuts down or things like that. And so I know for me, I will always work with a travel agent. I will always work with Suzy. And so there's my pitch, right? Is that that's why I want to do this, is because it's not just about planning vacations, but it's about planning epic experiences. Because when I'm 90 years old and I'm in a rocking chair on my front porch, my goal is to tell my grandchildren stories and have them run to their grandma, or run to my daughters, my sons, and say, I think Granny's lying. I'm not going to be called Granny. Never mind. Let's change that name. But I want them to think I'm lying, because I want the experiences to be that cool, because that's really what life is about, is creating these experiences and having these memories that help to shape you and create a unique you as well. So
and travel is just a way to, there's lots of different things you can do. I think most people have on their bucket list something that they want to do, or someplace they want to go. Maybe it's just one thing that you've ever always wanted to do. but and we have a great team here. It's not just me. We have a great team here in my office, and all of them are here to help create that. And if you have something in mind and you have a custom trip, we can help you put that together too. So, we're excited to move this forward. We're excited to have, or we'll have monthly webinars, different countries or different experiences every month, and all kinds of new things. And we'll update you, and we'll have, if you get on the email list, we will be sending you once a week an unrivaled travel experience that you maybe didn't know existed. And so, there's a great opportunity to learn. And if you don't have anything in mind right now, just tune in. You can go to our YouTube channel, which we just started. And we've got a lot of social media presence now. And we'll be having all kinds of fun things to learn about. So if nothing else, you can listen there, and maybe something will spark a thought, and you can reach out to us, and we'll help you create whatever it is you're looking to do.
Just come get to know us.
Yeah.
So,
yes.
yeah, first and foremost, we're here to talk about Scotland. So we're going to go over our itinerary for Scotland with you. This is one of our curated itineraries. And as I mentioned, you don't have to go on the set dates that we're going on. We are going in September 2024. And so all you have to do is call Suzy at 1-801-727-3575, and she'll be able to get you on that trip. Or if there are other dates for this particular trip that you want to explore, you can do that as well. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and just go through the itinerary and share with you why I'm so excited about this. Cool?
Yes.
Okay. So we are calling this the Spirit of Scotland. And in this experience, it's got a little bit of the Outlander components, but it also has just, like the Isle of Skye. It's I don't know. I mean, for me, the thing that I'm the most excited about is seeing the fairy pools. So I'm not going to lie,
Yeah.
but because I just feel like that's an unrivaled experience.
Yeah.
Stuff. So we're going to go through and show you what this looks like. So day one, meet and greet, private airport transfer in Edinburgh. So you fly into Edinburgh, and then you have an authentic or a dinner in an authentic Scottish pub. And then there's also like different, if your tour dates include the military tattoo, ours don't, it's a little bit later, but if it does, then that's something that you can do as well. It says August 6th and August 13th arrival only. If that is on your bucket list, then that's something you can do as well. I didn't know what a military tattoo was until Suzy explained it to me, and
it's
really
phenomenal.
Yeah.
And this is if you do know about it and you are thinking about it and it is on your bucket list and you want to go this year, you need to book it now. It sells out every year. It sells out long before. So, but yes, those would be the only two dates, and that's okay, because this trip is going to be amazing, even though we don't do the tattoo.
Yep. So day two is the Royal Mile, Edinburgh Castle, and Holyrood Palace. So I love the idea of just wandering Scottish castles. So I have to tell you a funny story. In my family history, they identified that we were descendants from William the Conqueror. And I went to London in 2007 with my dad and my sister on a really epic trip, because my dad was a Shakespeare professor and he knew everything. So he was our tour guide because he could explain everything about, and he knew the order of all the kings and queens and things like that. So there we were at the Tower of London, and the Yeoman Warder, which is the guide, was talking about William the Conqueror and how William the Conqueror had built the tower. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm royalty. I was saying to everyone, well, I'm a descendant of William the Conqueror. And I was super excited about that. So I just kept saying that I'm a descendant of William the Conqueror. And then I did a little research and found out that something like 25% of the planet is a descendant of William the Conqueror. So there you go.
Not so special.
Not so special, right? But I love these castles. I'm super excited to go to these different castles. Blair Castle, I know that we've had some people ask, oh, can we go to Blair Castle on this trip? Yep, absolutely. Look how gorgeous that is. We're going to go to national parks, and we're going to wind our way through Scotland into the Highlands. which I'm also very excited about because, of course, Loch Ness Monster, right? We're going to go
Of
on a
course,
Loch
and
Ness cruise.
and if we can figure out if get Nessie to pop her head up there, that'll be a really unique experience.
Yeah, that would be, I mean, even if, we take a picture and then just, like use AI or something and
Yeah, there you go.
so,
Yeah,
and then we go to Isle of Skye, and this is where
yeah,
the fairy pools are that I am so, so excited to visit. I literally I want to swim in that. It's probably pretty cold in September, but that's okay. I just feel like that it's so mystical, and I am really excited about that. And then, of course, the Harry Potter steam train. I mean, the Hogwarts Express, right? That's
yep,
just,
absolutely.
I just feel like I'm a movie buff, and I love, love, love the series, like the Harry Potter series, the Lord of the Rings. I just finished watching Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit with my daughter. And so this is something that seeing it in real life is really powerful to me. Again, with just to share an experience when I went to the Tower of London, when I was 14 years old, I watched the movie Lady Jane with Helena Bonham Carter and Carrie Elwes. And Carrie Elwes was the Princess Bride. Was
Okay,
and the Princess Bride.
I didn't know that, so that's
Yeah,
good
and
to know.
so he's so cute. Anyway,
Yeah,
so I watched this movie, Lady Jane, and I became obsessed with the story of Lady Jane. She was Queen of England for 9 days before she was put in the Tower and then later beheaded, and by Mary Queen of Scots, or not Mary, Bloody Mary,
yeah,
Henry VIII's daughter.
yeah.
So I knew this is like the part of British history that I'm super geeky over. And so there we are in London. This was in 2007. And we are at the Tower of London, and the Yeoman warder says, uh, Jane Grey and Guilford Dudley are buried behind me. Like we're in the chapel of the tower. And I gasped. And my sister was like, oh boy, because she knew my obsession. And I just gasped and I was like, oh my gosh. I mean, I did research papers on this woman. Like I just was obsessed with her when I was in high school. And it was just this passion of mine, that whole story. And so there I was, and I was like, I am literally where they are buried. And so the history comes to life, right? And
Yeah.
that reality of actually standing in the place and you're not just watching it. And then later we went to the British Library, and I was cruising along looking at different things, and there was her prayer book with her handwriting. And I was,
Wow.
you know, these experiences are personal to us. And I think I just sat there pressed against the glass, just staring, thinking, I am looking at her handwriting, and this is, decades later. And so what might be unrivaled for me might not be unrivaled for you, but that's why the beauty of this trip is that it encompasses a lot of different things. So
Yeah.
and then we'll go to the National Wallace Monument. If you've ever seen William Wallace, what is that movie called?
Um,
Freedom.
yeah, with
Mel
Mel
Gibson.
Gibson.
Oh,
My goodness.
yeah.
Wow. Braveheart.
Braveheart. Yes.
Yeah.
So this is a monument to William Wallace of Braveheart. Again, I'm a movie buff, so this itinerary really appeals to me from a historical and just, feeling like I'm seeing the places that I've read about, that I've watched in movies and all of that. So I am super excited about it. And then we transfer from Stirling to Edinburgh, back to Edinburgh. And then, from there, if there are things that you want to do afterwards, you want to add on to that tour, you can as well. So this is the Spirit of Scotland. We have other Scotland itineraries that we are going to be promoting, but this is the one that we're doing in September and that I'm going on and that I'm super excited about. And I would love to have you join me. Suzy, do you have a number of how many openings there are on that trip?
The last time I checked, there was 10 openings.
Okay.
And so there are still a few left on here. This is not, just so you know, this is not a private tour group just with the people that sign up for this particular date. They will have a total of 18 people on the tour. if they fill it up, which they most definitely will. We chose to go this route. It was, we could have done private, but it was quite significantly more expensive. And it was the same tour. So we decided to do it this way. And so I think it'll be still lovely because we can still be with our group, and we'll have a few other new friends that we're going to meet. But none of the groups that we'll be doing, other than potential cruises down the road, will be very big. We'll either be private or there'll be smaller groups, but where we meet some other people from around the world that potentially will come with us. But it'll be wonderful
A lot of
anyway.
fun.
Yeah, it'll be.
I love
So
that.
but so if you are interested in doing this specific one with us, it is really important that you actually get a deposit. I'm not saying that, I'm truly meaning you have to do it, but there's other times. So if you can't go with the group and you want to go, there's other times that they do this year and next year, or other itineraries that we have that we can either put together custom, or just if you wanted to see something else and you like this one and the dates work, we'd love to have you join us. And you just need to give us a call, and we can get you signed up and take the deposit and get all the information over to you. So we'd love to have you join us. Heidi's going to be the one that goes on this one. I have a couple coming up that I'll be going on. We'll be promoting those two down the road, but we'd love to have you on this one if you'd like to come.
So call
Yes.
801-727-3575. We'll make sure that everywhere that we post this and share it, that it is in the comments so that you know who to call. And let's go to Scotland. I think
Yes, I'm excited.
Amazing experience. I'm super excited, and I hope that you will join me in this
Yeah.
unrivaled travel experience. So thank you so much.
All righty, thanks. See you
Okay.
later. Bye.
Bye.